And look at that, guys. We are just rocking right now. Oh my God. And yes, we got it. Look at that. Man. So we need to hit this next number now, guys. Well, this is affecting our hit rate. I'm going to pull the plug on this. We're going to level 10 again, guys. So, like, this is... I don't like this at all. Hello, Wheel Masters. Welcome back to Mastering the Wheel. Today, we're on day 12 of our bankroll building challenge, and we're doing great. After that last win, we've got more house money in the bank, which is a great feeling, and we're going to try to keep this momentum going now. So today, I'm going to be using the same strategy we used last time. I love that numbers and neighbors strategy. It did exceptionally well in testing, and so we're going to keep on rolling with it right now. I really like to use strategies that work, and this one seems to be working very well. So we're going to be adding another, well, 12.5% to the bankroll today. The bankroll for this strategy is only $200. And so we're going for $25 like we have been consistently. So it increases the percentage risk a little bit, but not by that much. And we have a very nice spin budget for this strategy. The spin budget is 60 spins, and on the last game we played, we got the win in about 30. So that was a very nice win. So let's see if we can keep that up today as well. So we're just going to get right into it. But before we do, if you guys don't mind hitting that subscribe button and the like button, it does help out the channel a great deal, and I do very much appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. Now let's do this. So as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I use my program BetMaster to build progressions right inside of it and have the program automatically execute those bets for me. So of course, we're going to keep on doing that. If you're new to the channel, well, that's exactly what I do. And so I've already built the progression in the last video for what we're going to be playing today. So today I just have to load up that progression and start a session and have the program do what it does. So I'll talk more about the program as we get into the video, but for now I'm just going to get everything set up. So I will start by setting up a new session, and we're going to call this Bankroll Building Day 12. And the amount of money required for this is $200.20, so I'll give myself that. And next, we're going to go into the Bets tab, and I'm just going to go ahead and load my progression, and I called it Thank You Dealer. And I called it Thank You Dealer because we do have the dealer to thank for the fantastic results that he gives us, or she gives us. So we've got that loaded. And another thing about this progression is it's not really a data-driven progression. We're not making decisions based on the heat maps or anything like that. We are just, with the whole premise of this bet is to bet on the last number to hit, which is basically where the ball landed, and hope to hit something in that area or directly across the wheel from it. And that seems to be working extremely well. And it's a nice lower coverage system, right? We're only covering 14 numbers. So let me just go ahead and activate this progression now. And as soon as that next spin result is detected, it's going to start placing some bets. And so there's the number 12. And so 12 is going to be our target number. And we're going to place numbers 3 to the left and to the right of that and directly across the wheel. Oh, but I'm sorry, guys. Apparently not. I forgot one of the most important things about this program. I have to start up the data collection. Okay, so now, here, let me just reset this. And now it's going to be placing bets. It didn't collect the data because I hadn't started the data collection process yet. I got a little bit ahead of myself there. Okay, so 31 is going to be our target number now. And there we go. We have 14 bets placed on the table now. You can see all the bets in the chips, but you can also see it populated right up here in the history window. And now let's see what happens. So we've bet on 31 and its neighbors, and the number right across from 31 would be 25. So 25 and its neighbors. And we got 22. There's a nice win. We're off to a good start. So this progression has 10 levels in it, and we're using a Fibonacci sequence. Most of the time I don't get past level 6 or 7, but of course it happens. And one caveat about this progression is that we are using a Fibonacci sequence on a 14 number progression. And the thing about Fibonacci and 14 numbers is it doesn't work out perfectly as you start to get into some of the higher levels. So if we get to level 8, 9, or 10, it's not a full recovery. It'll be a partial recovery. 8 is the worst of it. If we win at level 8, we're a little bit farther from our session high. Just noting another win. And so yeah, 8 you're the farthest from your session high. 9 gets you a little bit closer, and 10 even more closer. So just a little note about this progression. But yeah, so far we're doing well. We got those first 2 wins, and we make the most money if we win on the first level. So look at that. If we could just get about half a dozen level or wins at that level, we'd be right at our at our target. So far, so good. So what was the target number here? So I guess it was 22. And so that's far from 22, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we did not have that covered. So we're going to go to level 2 now. So I just updated the Betmaster website. If you guys are interested in reading some in-depth insights on the mathematics behind roulette and a framework that I use when I build my progressions and how I play, go check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. But the website is www.betmaster-data.com, and that's where you can get a hold of Betmaster and get the program if you want. But also, there's a roulette lab. Everybody can go to that tab and check it out. And in the roulette lab, I just published 2 articles on in-depth analysis when it comes to probabilities, and I wrote another paper on something I call the edge framework. And these are the principles that I use when I'm building my progressions and how I approach roulette. So if you do want to up your game and play roulette rather than gamble at it, not that roulette's not gambling. Of course, there's always an element of gambling, but if you want to just take a different approach to roulette because it really is a game of math. You'll find that by taking some of the techniques that I try to teach and deploying them on your game, that you'll just inevitably win more and lose less. Ultimately. It doesn't guarantee that you're not going to lose because losing is inevitable, but the techniques that I use help you mitigate risk, and that's what this game is all about, right? Um, so yeah, check those out. www.betmaster-data.com in the roulette lab. And if you do have questions about Betmaster, like I was saying, you can get the program at the website, and there's an FAQ there. Now, if that doesn't answer all of your questions, you can always drop a comment down below. I'm happy to answer any questions about the program. It really is game changing. I couldn't imagine playing roulette without it. I've got lots of members now who are using Betmaster. They're all reporting success. They love using it, and it's actually a really good community that we're building right now. And if you want to be part of that community, in the description also there's a link to our Discord, so you're welcome to join. You can come check it out and see what other members are saying about Betmaster. Join the conversation, and we'd love to have you. It's a really good group of guys on this Discord channel, and yeah, it's a really great community. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when I play roulette, I don't like losing money, to be honest. I don't think anybody does, and we all play to win. We're all looking for that, I guess you could say, advantage, right? And taking this approach, has given me an advantage. I do lose less than I used to before I built this whole framework system. So definitely check that out, guys. I can't encourage you enough. If you want to change your game and take a different approach to roulette, those articles are worth reading. and we are hitting above average. We're doing really well right now, with a 50% hit rate, a little bit more now after this last win. And just like last time, we haven't even tickled the progression yet. We've only gone down to it looks like we may have hit level 3 once. So we're doing really well. 55% average hit. We're on spin 9 right now. Sorry, we're on spin 10. We've just completed spin 9. So hopefully we can keep up this momentum and wrap this session up nicely, just like the last one. It's nice when roulette goes smoothly, right? And that's why I have what I call the spin window, because if it's taking you too long to get to your financial target, things are obviously not going your way, and you should leave before they turn from bad to worse. And I've got a whole framework built around when you should leave and mathematically why you should leave. Right? It's all about mitigating risk. There are statistical opportune moments to enter a game and likewise to leave. And I explain all of that in the articles. And if you've been watching my channel, I'm sure you've heard me touch on these subjects a lot. As one of my YouTube commenters mentioned the other day, he said I sprinkle a little bit of wisdom in my videos, and I really try to do that, right? Give you guys some helpful advice that will help you win. And look at that, guys. We are just rocking right now. Oh my God. You got to love it. One win after another. We are just doing great. Yeah, you can't complain with that. And like I said, this strategy has done exceptional in testing. Um, if I were using real money over testing, I would have quintupled my bankroll by now. I look at strategies and I test them, hundreds of times before I take them to play with real money. It's part of the process for me. I'm not a big gambler. I like to know that I've got some kind of edge, and that's why the testing. That's why I take the mathematical approach, and that's how I got to the point that I'm at right now. Is I don't like to lose money, and I'm very cautious and analytical, and that's the approach I've taken to the game, and it's been working for me. So I'm here to share my knowledge and try to help you guys up your game. Right, that was the whole idea behind doing this the project. In the end, at first, Betmaster started off as a challenge for me. I didn't even have a name for it. It wasn't called Betmaster, during its inception. It was just a tool that I was using to see if I can sort of follow roulette statistics and make better decisions. And then it developed into this. And when I started winning a lot more than I was, then I realized I may be onto something. And after testing, thousands and thousands of sessions, I knew that I had something solid. So I have to share this with the world, was my thought. And so then I started developing the whole framework to put these videos together and to create Betmaster so that it would be more user friendly. It's very different right now than it was in the beginning. And so it was a bunch of Python scripts that I used to run. So that's not very user friendly. So anyways, it was wanting to share my ideas with the world that turned Betmaster into what it is today. So I hope you guys are enjoying. And again, still doing fairly well. We're a 50% hit rate after that last loss. We've got $9.20 as our session high. So doing good. I haven't really been paying that close attention, but every time I look over at the racetrack, it seems that the bets are often around the zero and opposite to them, or that's where the bets are. And oh, there we go. Nice. Right on the edge of our bet. Now, we've only got 16 spins in, so there's not a whole lot of data here, but if you're new to the channel and curious about what the program can do, I'll just give you a quick tour and show you that, like in the advanced stats tab here, so there's not a lot of data to determine what's hot and what's not. So really every number that gets hit right now looks hot, it's a bright red, and every number that hasn't been hit yet is blue. But this information can help you make betting decisions if you wanted to follow the heat, which is a lot of the systems that I use do. And just noting another win there, guys. So I'm just going to let my mouse go and do its work before I continue with the tour. But yeah, right now we're looking at the heat map for individual numbers, and then I can move over, and so for example, we can look at the heat map for splits, and you can see that line that divides each number. The more red that line is, the hotter that specific split is. Again, we don't have a lot of data to make that determination right now, but with enough information, and I usually like to use a pool of numbers of around 74. So yeah, so that's the kind of information you get here. And then streets is the same thing. Like if I were betting on streets, I'd want to bet on the red ones because that's where the ball is landing, right? And corners is the same thing. I'm just going to release the mouse for a second so it can place the bets. And by the looks of it, we lost that last spin, so we're on to the next one. Oh, or maybe we didn't. Oh. Oh yeah, we did. Okay, we're on level 2, of course. I was looking at the bets expecting them to be different, but of course, level 2 in a Fibonacci is still the base unit. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the corners heat map, this is one of my favorite heat maps to follow if I'm placing bets because you can see what corners have been more active than others. So if I had a corner strategy, I would place my bets in all of these red corners. Now, again, right now would be too soon because there's not enough data to make the heat determination. But with enough data, like 74 spins, that's exactly what I would do. I would place my corner bets on all of the corners that have been more active. So just, one way you can approach the game. Yeah, and following the heat is one thing, but what really creates a mathematical advantage when it comes to playing roulette is how deep your progression goes, and how much coverage that you have on the wheel. It all comes down to those two main principles. Because if you have too many levels in your progression, the loss at a deeper level is so devastating, it's impossible to win enough sessions to get that money back. Does that make sense? Like for example, in this progression, we have 10 levels. I would never go to an 11th level, no matter what, because that extra chance is not worth it mathematically speaking. It will cost me so much more to place a bet at the 11th level that now I have to win many more sessions just to get that back for that one chance that I took. And that extra level doesn't increase my win rate by enough to make it worth it. Does that make sense? So that's part of using the mathematical approach is your progression should only go so deep. You should. So I walk away at 10% when I win, and I should never have to win more than 10 sessions to get to double my bankroll, and that extra level by going to an 11th level and still walking away at 10%, I would have to make more money per session in order to walk away at 10%, which means I have to increase my risk, which increases my exposure. It just snowballs into something that's no longer manageable risk. So by taking this approach, by having a set depth to your progression, one where risk is manageable, just take the loss, and it's easy to recover, right? Whereas that extra level, like I said, it just becomes harder to recover. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So that's one of the techniques that you have to apply to your strategy. Progression depth. And right now we are on level 6. So for the first time we are here. I think we got here in the last session too. Let's hope we can bag a win soon. We have this one and 4 more. Oh, we did not catch that one. So now we'll be betting on 0 and its neighbors. And level 7. So ideally we're going to win here or the next level because actually, yeah, here we're on level 6 right now. No, we're on level 7. So ideally we win here because now if we go to level 8, like I was saying earlier, it's not going to be a full recovery. So that means we've got a bit more work to do. And it's situations like that that'll create a slightly longer spin duration that we have to stay. Like the last time, it was so smooth. I don't think we went past level 3 or 4. I don't remember exactly, but anyways, the whole session ran fairly smooth, and so we finished in basically record time. We were done in like 30 spins, but right now we are going down to level 8, so we've got 3 more attempts here. So let's see what happens. Now, I'd like to win here because it'll at least reset us and give us a better chance. But, honestly, level 9 would be slightly better because, we get closer to our full recovery. But that's okay. I'll take a win here. So now this is the longest we've gone since I've been live with this. And then let's see how we do. We're looking for something around. Oh, we did not get that one either. Okay. So now we're going down to level 9. So this is the second last level of the progression. So now we're starting to, or at least I'm starting to get nervous. I don't like going this deep. I hope this isn't going to be the one that takes the bankroll. All right, so we have, let's see, the target number was 20 and 21. So we're looking for anything in that vicinity. And 36. Oh, man. So we need to hit this next number now, guys. This is going to be a sad day if we take this hit. So let's go. On the plus side, it is only a $200 loss, unlike the last progression. The hottest 18 was slightly higher, a $228 loss. But let's see if we can bag a win here. Any one of those numbers. We're looking for any one of those numbers. And yes, we got it. Look at that. On the 10th level. So this is actually the best case scenario. I mean, I was sweating because the last level of the progression, but we got it. And as you can see, so we're $2.20 behind our session high now. So we have a little bit of work to do to catch up, and we're at spin 26. Just under our halfway point. So let's see if we can catch up now. Hopefully we don't see another level 9 or 10 or 8 for that matter, because those levels just back us up. But at that point, it's just we're hoping to get a win so we can reset. We really want to get our wins between level 1 and 7, right? And oh, that was right beside where we were betting. These level 2 wins are okay, but it really cuts down our profit because base unit stays the same on level 2, right? But I would never change that. This gives us another chance. Imagine if we just went 1, 2, 3, 5, etc. Then either if we went to level 10, that last bet would be more expensive, or we would just have 9 levels and we would have lost in the last cycle. So. And the number 1, again, right beside where we're betting, eh? That's okay. We didn't want that level 2 win anyways. They don't pay very well. Let's catch it at level 3. Level 3 is a nice payout. And our win rate now after that, those 9 losses in a row, really dropped us back down. We were hitting above 50%, but now we're right where we should be. Betting on 14 numbers, we should be hitting about 37%, and we are there right now, right? Just variance, math, and probability doing its thing. And since we've had this dealer, she hasn't really been doing as well as the last dealer in terms of putting the ball where we want it, right? Like this whole strategy is based on having the dealer launch the ball and having it return back to where she launched it from, or directly on the opposite side of the wheel. The last dealer seemed to be doing very well at feeding us that. Now we're looking for something in the 0 range, which we did not get. Well, this is affecting our hit rate. And we are now at spin 30. Well, 31 now we're at. So we're halfway through our budget. We're not quite half to our spin target yet. This could be a session where we walk away. You never know. But if things aren't going your way, then you might as well just count your losses and leave. or count your gains and leave. In this case, hopefully we're up a little bit before we walk away. I'm hoping not to walk away, but we'll see what happens. And there we go, guys. We just got a win. Level 5. So we were at $12.20 for the high. We were at $10 in the profit loss, and now we're at $11.20. So we're $1 away from our session high. So if we can get this next win, then this should give us a new session high. And hopefully we don't go on too many more losing streaks. And 33, there we go. So we've got a new session high now. That'll put us just over $13, I believe. Yeah, there we go. So $13.40. So now we're halfway, just over halfway to our target, and we're on spin 33 right now. Now, this is session 12, and so after we win this, which I'm kind of obviously hoping that we do, I'm planning to win it, but not every time it goes as planned. That said, this is session 12, and hopefully we win. And let's just look at the last 11 sessions, right? I'm not sure about the progressions that you play or how you've played before, but have you won 11 consecutive sessions in a row? You can write it down in the comments if you have or haven't, and just let me know. Because winning 11 sessions in a row for me is very constant. I do it most of the time. In fact, my numbers are closer to 15, 16 sessions before I finally bust. Now, of course, sometimes I do lose twice before I hit 10 sessions. Ideally, I want to hit 10 sessions at least, because that's the value of the bankroll, right? So if I were to win 10 and then lose every time on the 11th session, I would be breaking even all the time. Ideally, I'm going to be winning at least an 11-to-1 ratio. And I do that most of the time, higher than 11-to-1. The point I'm trying to make is I don't have these kind of numbers because I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. Okay. I have these kind of numbers because of the approach that I take. And this is, genuinely, this is what I'm trying to show people so that you can improve your game. So just wanted to point out, that these last 11 wins have nothing to do with, well, I shouldn't say nothing. Luck definitely helps in roulette. What you don't want to get is unlucky, right? But with the approach that I take, you're using more than just luck to help you along the way. That's all, right? There's no guarantees. Of course, there's never a guarantee. We can't change the fact that roulette is a random game, and things do happen. I just loosely want to say more or less randomly, but there's a slight way you can give yourself an advantage, and that's by understanding probabilities, right? Entering at statistical opportune moments, although this strategy strays away from that a little bit because it's hard to model 14 numbers when the betting field is changing on every spin. So that said, just giving yourself a spin window and managing your bankroll or the depth of your progression are just a couple of things that you can give yourself an advantage when it comes to playing roulette. But definitely statistical opportune moments do help as well. My favorite statistical opportune moment is using a trigger that I call system failure. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know the one that I mean, and that's where I basically wait for a progression to fail before I enter the game again, or enter the game at all for that matter. And the reason for that is, like, the chances of a system failing, it's a relatively rare event, on average. So systems that I play will on average fail once every 200 spins. So that's a fairly rare event when you consider averages, compared to, say, red and black, which have a 1 in 2 chance of happening, right? So that event is going to happen often. And you see streaks of, 5-6 red, 5-6 black, or whatever. But the probability of them coming 1 in 2 is extremely frequent. You see it all the time. Whereas an event that has a 1 in 200 chance of happening, you don't see that all the time. So that would be considered a statistically rare event. So even though we can't predict exactly when that's going to happen, When it does happen, the 1 in 216 or 1 in 200 event, the chances of it happening right away again are statistically less, right? That's why that's why it's considered a rare event, because it doesn't happen all of the time. It doesn't happen back to back. Of course, it can happen, and it does happen back to back, but not very often. That's actually quite a rare event for it to happen 2 times consecutively. So that's what I mean by statistical opportune moments. So if you waited for your progression to fail before you entered the game, um, then that would be a statistical opportune moment. And then understanding the failure rate, let's say it was 1 in 200 spins, if you take 20% of that, so 40 spins, then that would be the spin window that you operate in. And whether you make your financial target by 40 spins or not, you leave at 40 spins no matter what, because every spin you stay past that trigger point, you're increasing your risk, because the probability cycle is catching up again, and the longer you stay, the higher the chances are of that rare event happening again are. So that's the idea. If you stay for longer than the allowable spin window, then you're simply throwing away all of the advantage that you had given yourself by choosing a trigger to enter. Right? Does that make sense? So these are just some of the things that I talk about in the articles that I just published. So yeah, like I said earlier, definitely worth a read. It might give you some valuable insight as to how you should approach the game to try to lose less, essentially, right? And when we lose less, inevitably we win more, and that's the idea. So we just completed spin 41 now. So we have 19 spins left in the budget, and going down to level 5 here. We've had a bit of a rocky road. I can see in the last few spins we're not hitting that great. We are now hitting below average, 31.7%. And only at 1460, we still need to get another $10.40 to hit our target, and that is not going to be a win. So now moving on to level 6. And that's another miss. So we need to get this win here at level 7, or we're going to back up again. And things are going not that good. Like, it seems to be going on a sort of downhill trend, and I might be pulling the plug on this even before we hit our spin window, because when things just aren't going your way, guys, if there's nothing wrong with walking away, and that's part of the discipline, right? Hoping things are going to turn around. Um, you know, we can hope all we want, but for whatever reason, if the ball's not landing where we want it to, call it random, call it dealer that's not being biased, or just being more aware of where they're launching the ball today. If we're not winning, then why stick around, right? So there we go. We're going to be going down to level 8 now for the second time in this progression. So I think once I make a recovery here, I'm probably just going to pull the plug and call it a day, because things just aren't going our way. And I already feel like we're risking too much right now. We're at level 8. We're not going to make a full recovery. It'll drop me down to about $12, so half of the target. But I'd rather leave with half of my financial target than lose my bankroll, right? And I can see in the graph, and this is another advantage to using Betmaster, I can see how bad we're doing. And if it's just not going our way, then it's worth leaving. And hopefully this isn't going to be it either, because we're going back down to level 9 again. This is the second time in the progression, and this does not happen to me very often. So right after this bet is done being placed, I'm just going to go ahead and get my program ready, because I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull the plug on this. As soon as we recover, I'm going to click that button right there and stop. So hopefully we can get a win right now and stop the progression. And that's not a win. So that takes us to we're going to level 10 again, guys. So like this is I don't like this at all. Hopefully we can get as lucky as we did last time and get this win. Right? Big hope. Keep your fingers crossed. All right, and anything around the 0 really, or the opposite side would be nice, and it looks like we are going to get it. Perfect. Okay, so that was a recovery. I just pulled the plug. You know, guys, this is part of the discipline. You know, this is why I'm able to hold on to my bankroll. I've still got, you know, almost $10 to go from where we left off. This is the second time I'm seeing level 9 on this progression. You can see on the graph, you know, after we got this big dip, and ever since this new dealer came in, really, is when we started going down. And you can see how badly we were doing here. We almost lost again. Our hit rate is 29%, where we should be hitting around 37%. And we've been watching it go down. So obviously the game has taken a turnaround, and for whatever reason, we're not hitting as much. We can debate about why that's happening, but essentially I know that it is happening and I can see it happening right in front of me. So that's why I'm pulling the plug. And this is part of the discipline, guys. So I hope you can take something away from this page in the series, because you know, this is why I keep my bankroll intact, because I know when to stop playing, and you know, tomorrow's another day and we're going to give it another go. So so guys, I'm sorry I had to pull the plug, and maybe you're disappointed that I didn't go all the way, but again, and I can't iterate enough, this is part of the discipline. Okay, so that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do. I really appreciate all the support, and it does help out the channel a great deal. So thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
He wrote code in the dark, never planned to cash in. Just a mind full of math and a storm in his skin. Built a tool for the data, just a passion within. Till the wheel met the master and the master began. He ain't gamble, he engineered the win. Turned chaos to order with a stroke of the pen. He was never meant to play, but the software stepped in. Now the dealers fear the ghost he created from sin.